Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight we're here with a new episode of Garbage, all of the trashy things happening on social media as of lately. We're going to cover the Dougherty Dozen, Colleen Ballinger, and also the Not So Resilient Jenkins. So, timestamps are down below, but if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I received a helpful little note and I will be updating the thumbnails for this series going forward to correct the, to give it the proper pronunciation. So either way. Let's start with the Dougherty Dozen. So Alicia does this thing where she does a mini vlog with one of her children. It will be a dedicated video of basically her just spending money on her kids, because that's the only way that the woman knows how to bond with her children, is to throw money and gifts and expensive crap at them. So she takes the youngest child to Ulta and Sephora. This child received a vanity for Christmas. She's 6 years old, and she wanted to stock her vanity with some of her favorite products. Now, I was willing to give this the time of day because I thought, you know what? She's 6 years old. Maybe this will be like the one video where Alicia shows some common sense and actually guides this 6-year-old child as to what is appropriate for her age and what's not appropriate for her age, and what might even damage her skin barrier, because we are talking about a 6-year-old child after all. Some of the items that Alicia purchased for this 6-year-old that automatically made my red flags go up everywhere. Starting off at Ulta, Alicia decides to buy this 6-year-old child, and yes, I'm going to repeat that numerous times. She buys the child a skincare set from Drunk Elephant. Drunk Elephant is very popular on social media. It goes viral all the time. They are hand in hand with a lot of influencers, and me personally, I've never really cared too much for their products. I find them to be middle of the road. I would rather pay money for medical grade skincare instead of something that is being shilled by a popular TikTok influencer who is not qualified to be giving skincare advice at the capacity that a lot of them offer it at. But in this set that Alicia buys for the child, there is a 15% vitamin C serum. Whoa, what is a 6-year-old child going to do with a 15% vitamin C serum? Not needed, totally insane. There also is their B-Hydra, which is their hydrating serum, the Proteini, which is a peptide cream, an SPF, a makeup remover, and the TLC serum. That's the one. I'm sure we've all seen it. It's got the hot pink top. And this serum has glycolic, salicylic, and lactic acid in that one single product. So first we're going to go in with a vitamin C serum that shouldn't even be on the radar of a child. And then we're going to double down and do the TLC serum that has all of these acids in it that are going to absolutely wreck her skin barrier. Shame on Alicia for that alone. Then we move on to the bubble toner, and she says something along the lines of, every 6-year-old has to have their bubble toner. Bubble is the brand that makes this toner. Now it's a spray, facial mist or whatever. I don't know what 6-year-old even knows what a face toner is. I don't know what kind of 6-year-old is running around saying, oh, I need to have this toner that I can spray on my face. Unless that child is spending an insane amount of time on social media, a 6-year-old and knowing what skin toner is, they don't really make sense to me personally. The other things that she purchased for this child at Ulta were the Morphe Glitter Gloss. It's like a glittery lip oil. That's pretty harmless. Perfumes and hand sanitizer, which hand sanitizer, hey, I'm here for it. I think that's great. Why are we allowing children to walk around with perfume. I don't care if you want to label it as a body mist or a perfume mist to try to make it not sound like it's perfume, but it's perfume. Let's just be honest about that part. But she got that for her at Ulta, and she also bought her more perfume at Sephora. The three things at Sephora that stuck out to me that she bought for this child were the items from Glow Recipe, which again, going back to the drunk elephant issue, these items from Glow Recipe have PHA, BHAs. It's just all too much for a child to be putting this on their face. And I would say the same thing if the child was 10, 11, 12. Like, why are we forcing these children to get into this, at times, a very sad world of beauty marketing and beauty advertisements? She also bought this child a pink setting powder. Why does a child need setting powder? Why is a child using makeup? Like, what are we doing here? Like, you're going to send this kid out with a completely wrecked skin barrier with pink powder and glittery lip oil and think that you're the coolest mom ever? No, it's shameful. The last thing that she bought was the Milk Jelly Blush. Now, for me, I think that these things can be fun sometimes for kids to like play with. Okay, I get it. I used to play with my mom's makeup. I would get into it and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But I was doing that in the privacy of my own home. And I still knew that there was some stuff that I just was not allowed to touch. And I damn sure wasn't going outside my front door wearing makeup as a child. And for any curious minds out there, Alicia spent $203 at Ulta, $207 at Sephora on this 6-year-old child so that she could ruin the child's skin barrier. I hate to be a broken record, but it's just absolutely wild to me. And of course, there were people calling her out in the comments, and Alicia's weird little fans that roam around were telling people to mind their business and they don't know what they're talking about and stay in your own lane. Like, she literally posted this on YouTube and TikTok and probably Instagram. I can't tell because I've been blocked for ages and I don't really care to look right now. Public content, public commentary. If you don't like it, you're a weirdo. Now let's move on to what Colleen and Rachel Ballinger have been up to. They recently launched this podcast. It's called the Sweet and Salty Sisters podcast. And evidently they are doing it through Patreon because, what's content if you're not charging people for it? They announced that they had Jojo Siwa on a recent podcast episode. I am not going to listen to it because I refuse to put money in Colleen Ballinger's pockets. And Rachel, for that matter, Rachel too. Throw them both in the bin. Now, while I realize that Jojo Siwa has been, to me, she's boring. She's a poser. It's old news at this point. But I would like to acknowledge that by her going on this podcast with Colleen and Rachel, to me, that's sending a sign of, I was good with it back then, I'm good with it now. F everyone that has come out with their experiences having dealt with Colleen. And I don't really care about y'all because these two are still my friends. And we are so friendly that I'm going to continue to tell the public how I'm, peas in a pod with these weirdos. And if you are a pea in a pod with a weirdo to this degree, then I'm going to think that you're a weirdo too. So I don't think that we're ever going to see change behavior from JoJo. And I think that this is a big FU to the people that have come out and spoken against Colleen. Now, last but certainly never least, let's talk about the not so resilient Jenkins. Steph has posted 2 videos that I would like to touch on today. The first was that she is over here cooking up potions and, you know, essential oil healing and Amish ibuprofen and all kinds of potions. Number one, I think it's irresponsible, and I've talked about this for years. Go back to my MLM, anti-MLM days. For unqualified people to be giving medical advice as to ingest this essential oil or herb or remedy, and it will make you all better. It will get rid of everything. Ma'am, you are not a doctor. You are not a nurse. You are not qualified to be giving out any advice as to, you might be interested in this because it could help you with this insert health issue here. It's irresponsible, it's dangerous, and I would think instead of cooking up potions and calling it Amish ibuprofen and all of this kind of stuff, I would be cooking up a potion to make sure that I'm not homeless in 18 days. That's where my focus would be, especially having children.
Last item I ever received PR, I'm satisfied, okay? Because this is incredible. Let me show you. This is an entire book of herbal remedies. Pretty much anything you could need in your home. Let's just look one up for the heck of it. Soothing syrup for upset stomach, 62. A little bit too far. Here we go. That's as simple as some ginger, some raw honey, and some water. Let's look up another one, okay? Let me show you just how many there is. Because, are you seeing this? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I just gotta start getting the herbs all built up. That's what is next. Antifungal wart freezing spray. This makes the herbal mama happy. Amish ibuprofen, 170. They're so achievable and easy. Simple ingredients, just a bunch of herbs, plants. I'm so excited to try this out. Snippet about the author. The author is living with MS, and she uses these herbal remedies to treat her symptoms and ailments. And she goes on hikes. She was on one of those survival shows. And if you know anything about MS, that is incredible.
Now, aside from her being a whatever you want to call that, she also shared another video where she said it was 19 days and counting until they had to move. She described this as God's timing. So I guess a forced eviction is Steph's idea of God's timing. That seems a little weird. But in the video, which of course I will include as a splice, she says that they added 2 awesome new family members while they were living in this one bedroom that, as a reminder, was never designed or meant for Steph, her kids, and to continue having more children. This was a 1 bedroom, 1 bath for Drew and his son. And then Steph came in, laid on her back, and all this hit the fan. She did also say in that video how she is proud that her kids have been in the same school for 3 full years. If that was one of my accomplishments as a parent, I would do some soul searching. Because 3 years, number one, like 3 years in the same school, that should be a goal. That should be like the standard. That shouldn't be something that you don't know if it's going to happen, but then it does and you're proud of it. Like, you should want your kids to be in the same school. You should want them to have a strict schedule and be building positive friendships at school. And I just don't understand why that's such a gold star moment for her, because for me, that's what it should be. She also mentions in this video how they're not going to be utilizing moving boxes and all of that kind of stuff. They are just going to use what they have to tote the stuff from one place to the other. Now, if you're asking yourself, well, where is that new place? You say it's close, but where is it? Do you have it locked down yet? Have you signed a new lease? Have you established where you're going? The answer is no. Nope. They don't know, but they're not going to use boxes, and they're just going to tote the stuff from one place to another. The really sad reality is the toting stuff from one house to the other might not really unfold the way that Steph thinks it will, because if they end up in a homeless shelter, do you think that she's going to be able to bring her magic potion book and markers and all of her fancy kitchen gadgets that weird companies sent her? She's not going to be able to bring all of that stuff.
Yeah, 19 days until move out date. Yeah, you heard that right, 19 days. So here's to one of the last Sunday resets in our home before we move. As excited as I am for new growth opportunities for our family and moving into a better situation, I'm definitely a little bittersweet. This is the home that's housed us for the past 3 years, the home that we've grown our little family in. I mean, we've had two family Christmases here and multiple birthdays. We added 2 awesome members to our family. We've just shared a lot of amazing memories in this little home. And honestly, as someone who has moved around a lot as a kid, I really appreciate the fact that my kids have been to the same school for the past 3 years, and they really have developed a lot of friendships there. And for as many downfalls as this apartment has, I'm always fearful that I'm just going to run into worse going somewhere else, to be honest with you. But that's not the positive mindset we're working on. I truly believe that this is God's timing, and we couldn't have moved ourselves any faster. We have made attempts to try to move out of here previously, and we were just denied. I'd be lying if I said I'm not a little fearful that's going to happen this time around too, but I really do believe this is God's timing. And then obviously it's not like we have much choice, right? So with us having less than 3 weeks, cleaning videos are going to look a little bit different. I'm not going to do like necessarily packing because we're not going to be moving very far. And by that I mean we're not moving out of state, and I see no reason to like pack everything in boxes when you're just going to be moving a short distance. It's much easier to just put everything in baskets, and then when you get from point A to point B, you can just put everything away right away. And then with any move, you always end up finding things you just don't need to keep and bring with you.
For me, that's the part in all of this that really makes me sad, is just the fact that there were so many chances and opportunities, and none of them were taken. None of them were capitalized on. You sat here and you said, oh, I want to go viral. I want to go viral. And then you went viral. You didn't like it, but it still made you a decent amount of money. And you didn't utilize that money to make sure that your children had a roof over their head. You should have used that money to get into a bigger apartment. Give these children what they deserve. It's the bare minimum that you can do as a parent. But that was not done. We have Drew, with his headset glued to his face all the time, eviction, lice, moldy laundry, and just exploitation of all of these poor children that have to count on these 2 bozos as parents. That's the sad part. But either way, I think that's enough for today. I will obviously have more content coming, but tell me how you feel down below. So for now, if you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.